Hey, welcome in. I'm Whip. Yo, yo, yo. How we doing? That was fun. All right. Yep, I have nothing to talk about. I just figured I'd jump on here because nobody else was going, as far as I know. Susie called off, and then Bobby called off too. So I figured, what the heck? I missed yesterday. I can go today. Just to give a few hellos. I've got Zenny first in the house. Hello, Zenny. Wendy, Bruiser, Cheryl's boy toy, Uncle Smiley, Davo, B Wood, Denny, hello, hello, Big Sexy, Prodigal, Linda, and that is it. So, oh no, there's Gills right there. Gills the Garden right there. So yeah, I got really nothing new going on here, but I figured we could come up with something to talk about for an hour. Um, the plan for me right at the moment, I got 3 tanks of Tanganyikans that need to go in this tank right here behind me, right there, that guy. But man, they're so little. I bought them at a swap. Almost, almost scared they're going to get ate up by the bigger fish in there. Who has a fish room that you run one air pump for the entire room? It's not me. I know there's quite a few people that do it though. Jason does it for prime time, but he ain't here. Anybody? Anybody? Linear pump? Susie does it, but she ain't here either. Hey, Laura. That's a linear pump. Yes, yes. Not necessarily from the co-op, but they do sell them. And she has one. There you go. See, it's been so long. Gil, that's Gil's for two gardens. That's not Nathan, is it? I don't think so. Maybe. What question? I don't know. He just asked if anybody runs one, so I assume he has a question. And can I tell you how many times you? All right. Yes, it was me. Yeah, okay. I thought so, but my brain kind of had a hiccup going on there. So that's the plan. I'm gonna have to move. I have 3 different tanks, so I can't even get anything new right now because all my quarantine tanks are full. And I thought about maybe just putting them all into one, letting them grow out a little bit. That's an option because they've done their quarantine. They can grow up and maybe not kill each other when they get to the new tank. Because the guys right here beside me are threadfin. Threadfin? Is that right? Or featherfin? Nah, that's terrible. Can't remember. I think it's featherfin, right? From the lake. Dave has been watching, and then of course it jumped. Crazy possum for a long time in the yard, spinning circles, kind of clockwise. He might have rabies. They go a little scooters. Featherfin. That's what I thought. That was my second guess, which was my final answer. Thank you, Alishon. And hello. Nathan says, I'm looking at Amazon for a cheaper one, $90 to $120. I was wondering if it would be strong enough when ran through a PVC pipe, like most do when using one pump. I'm pretty sure that would work. I'm almost 100% sure Primetime only does one pump, and he had 80 tanks on that thing at one point. Hey, Dee Dee. So Laura says she did one that did 10 tanks. I don't know how many tanks you got anymore there, Nathan. You've been ramping it up. Oh, this is going to be boring as hell. I can't think of nothing to say. I didn't do any prep, but I figured I hadn't been on in a while, and maybe I did have something to say, but I guess not. The air pressure in the O28 air output is 635. It pumps down to 9 feet and then comes with a 9-port manifold. Yeah, I am over my skis on this conversation. I just buy the individual pumps, which is stupid, but that's what I do. I don't know what Pawfly is either. That must be a brand name, right? Hey, Cat House. A couple people I know use Alita, and the number is per tank. Smaller tanks. Kreger, how's she going? That's a good point. I don't know how many. The one guy that I know that has them, he had all kinds of different sizes, but mostly small. He didn't have a lot of big tanks in there, but he had some 75s and a couple 125s. It's something I've been toying with. When I see that, when I turn, how can I do this? Right, there's a door right here. This is about a 5 by maybe 8 closet area that I don't know what they built it for when I didn't build it. It was here when I moved in. Um, I was going to make it a reptile room because that's where I had my tortoise for a while. It was smaller and easier to keep hot. But the more I think about it, the less inclined I am to get any. Hey, Adele, any reptiles? I don't know. I kind of go through spurts of, man, maybe I want to get one, but then I'm thinking, maybe not. They don't do anything. They just kind of hide all day, and then I see a video where the guy's got a iguana hanging on his arm that's darn near the size of an alligator, and I'm like, see, now that's cool. I want one. He has 3 55-gallon tanks stacked on top of each other, so the pressure is a bit much for the one paw fly. Paw fly. That's why I'm using 2. Hey, Jeremy. I don't know how busy you are, but I can send you a invite if you're just sitting around doing nothing. There you go. Mido blower. LA 45C will run up to 45 tanks. No problem. That's what co-op sells. But yeah, that's what I was getting to before I saw something shiny there. I'm thinking about putting that linear pump in there because if I do that over there, that'll be like my grow out slash quarantine room. I'll get it out of this closet over here because that's inconvenient. And I'm not a no problem. That's cool. Man's got to eat. Um, yeah, it's not super convenient for water changes or anything. So if I can get them up off the ground, like the ones up off the 29 is regular height, but then I put the 20 below it, and it's only dropping what I don't even know how tall a 20 is, but it's probably 2 feet from the top of the tank to the ground, which is kind of enough, but it's slow. Hey, Squatchy, slow, slow, slow. So my plan was to go. I bought two more, and I can always buy more as I go. Um, just keep buying 20 highs and put them in there and do it long ways. So I can get like I don't know 6 of them in there maybe. And then have a couple grow out tanks in there too because I'll have an extra. I have an extra 90 and a 75 that I can put in there too, just for the bigger fish, or maybe quarantine potentially, or a hospital tank if something gets ill. And if I do that in there, then I might go with the linear pump. I only have a 2 foot piece of half-inch PVC. With my 11 tanks, could I go bigger and longer or even stay with the half-inch but make it longer? Laura uses 3/4. Your blower? Yeah, and that's the thing. You need two of them, really, Nathan. If I mean, you need $500 because hey bipolar, the reason I haven't gone that route yet is because I don't want to be left high and dry. Like if one of my pumps go out right now, it's one tank. If that linear pump takes a shit on me, then all the tanks are down. So I don't want that. So you got to have the backup, or at least in my mind, you do. I got one pump running over 100 sponges. Now that's impressive. Hey Jeff, what's going on, bud? I think I can go back to calling you Jeff because the other Jeff and you aren't in the same stream so much anymore. So it's not confusing anymore. I always feel a little disrespectful calling you dirt. Hello, Dennis. You'll still have those old small pumps gathering dust. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, but that would be, could you imagine, your power goes out, or I guess your power wouldn't be out because it's just a pump failing, but you got to go all through that hassle of putting stuff back together again. My pump I have tanks all over counters, so do a long length or even better, a circle. I have heard the circle trick works better. How does that work when you close the system? Does does it put back pressure on the pump, or is there like a relief valve that kind of lets it bleed off if you have extra pressure? Like not enough tanks or whatever the case might be. Dirty Jeff. Yeah. Yeah, you need a circle with a linear pump to a bleed off valve. That's kind of what I thought, because I mean, you would think. I mean, I know if you plug just the small ones, they'll blow out the now the word was gone right out of my head, but the little baffle guy, right? It just blows it right up. That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, I haven't done it yet, so I don't know a ton about this stuff. I'm just kind of learning as I go. Hey, Melvin, probably okay with dirt as long as you don't call him late for supper. I had questions that I had, and they've gone right out of my head. But as they come back to me, I'm sure I will throw them out there. You need to move closer to Maryland Whip. You missed helping me carry a shit ton of heavy ass rocks this weekend. Yeah, I bet your back is thanking you for it too. Which one were you setting up? The other 1200? You had a couple different things going on there. A lot of hellos going on. A lot of hellos. So yeah. So I mean, if we want to stick with that as a topic, the 750. Ah, yes, the one you just swapped out. Wasn't that your old saltwater tank? I think, right? I'm probably getting your tanks all screwed up in my head, but I think that was the old salty. Would it bleed off that valve be a good idea with the cheaper air pumps? Morrison, nah. So where does that pressure go? Does it just kind of, hey Doc, what's going on, buddy? Does it just kind of sit there? No, it was the old Amazon Island tank. Okay, sorry, Amazon. That's right. That's right. But you did just tear down the old shark tank, right? I don't remember how big that one was. Bigger than 750 though. Depends. Several videos online tell you how to set it up and where to get bleed valves and muffler. Yeah, I figured there's got to be. You can find almost anything on YouTube. Hey, what's going on? Your video, either my algorithm has dropped you, which I have to check that out to see if that happened, or you have scaled way back, my friend. Because you were on like all the time, and then now I don't see you at all. 1800 running empty right now. Yeah. All right. I knew that was bigger than. Hey, Jose, what's going on? Yeah, I was sure the Sharks had a bigger tank than 750, but so the Amazonians are going from a 750 to a 1200. That's a pretty nice upgrade. Running water. Good day, sir. LJ, it's working, so I'll probably just leave it alone, leave it as is until I upgrade air pumps. So here's my dilemma on this tank right here. You can even kind of see them right there. There's a couple lemons in there. This is Lake Tanganyika, and that's all that's in that tank is fish that I can find. Some of them are harder to find than others, but I put these two guys here. He said they were rare, and he's right because I can't really find them anywhere else. And there's some kind of lattice cichlid with a really wonky long ass name. Um, the scientific name. So I can never remember what it is, but these guys are big enough now. They might eat my new fish. And then I got a Kelvis in there that he's not huge, but he's got a gigantic mouth. And of course, I got the Frontosa. Still small, but they probably have a mouth big enough to gobble up a couple of these. I bought 6 more lemons at the swap, and they are maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches, and they're skinny little torpedoes. And then, like I said, I got the feather fins, 2 different kinds of a feather fin, and then I just to see if I could do it in a community tank because everybody says you can't. I bought some. Oh, now that name has gone out of my head. It's a Bacardi, but the yellow-tailed ones. What are those? Good Lord Almighty! This is what. Hey, Cece, this is what happens when you get hit in the head too many times. Your brain just kind of loses all ability to remember. I bet I could figure it out though. I go here. My documents, no, my custom templates. Where would I have put that damn thing? I've got a breakdown of all my tanks with all the fish in them. I know this is compelling and rich. Fish room stuff. Now we're cooking. Just has to open up. All right, so the one that has a long name, it's called a latticed cichlid, but it's also it's loom lim limnotilapia dardenii, if that means anything to anybody. And then I also have daffodil. That's what they're called, the daffodils, which are neolamprologus, neolamprologus pulchers. Did anybody get that before I said it? Huh? Alishon? Fish dreams. What's going on? Yep, Zenny got it. That's the yellow-tailed ones. Hey, look at I got a guy in the back room. He probably came in while I was not looking at the page, but looking at the other deal. What's going on?
Holy cool. Oh my gosh, just running around today. Sorry.
That's all right. You're allowed. I missed
We
because I was
had
running
to
around.
drop the chops off to my brother-in-law, and I told Dad, yeah, I'll drive out there. And then like when I guess he was getting ready to go, you said, let's go
Hey
live, and I
Jesse.
was like, oh man,
Hey
sorry.
Jim. Yeah. Oh no, don't. It was just because Susie and Bob both decided not to go today, and I'm like, well, that's a window. Unless there's other
Nope.
people that stream during those times, which I'm sure there is at this point, but
Are you sure Bob's not going?
yep, yeah, I made double sure. He said if anybody can utilize the slot, go ahead. So I did. Although I probably will end before. I'm probably only gonna go an hour. There's no reason to go 2 hours and listen to me just sit here. Although with you, it should fill in some of the some of the dead air.
Boy, I wish I would have brought my things down, my newest action figures. What was that? She came up here and then jumped back down. My newest action figures that I painted have like a little shield, or I want them to hold little riot shields because I kind of want them to be like the old cat, the Synodontis is swimming in circles,
Uh-oh.
and then he saw the cats, I think, and he went to hide. But hey, at least I got to see him go in a circle around his log. But nevertheless, what was I saying?
Shields.
Oh, like the old phalanx system, you know how they would have shields and put another shield on top of each other and they'd walk with spears? I thought it'd be kind of cool if they would walk with maybe baseball bats or something in a big shield.
That could be cool.
And then they, the people would use them that are their bosses to go into like a fish like swap, and then they march through the aisles and just shove the people out of the way, and then they get the best. They can look at the tables and buy the fish.
You're bringing it into the real world.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
Ed,
I got to fit in my fish world.
the question to go back to your fish world is, do you use a linear pump at all, or do you use all regular individual pumps?
No, I do use a linear.
You
I
do?
have two. Actually, I have three. One is mega loud, and it's the one that I've set up for my line breeding rack because it's a whole bunch of 3-gallon tanks. But it is so loud. I don't know. I may have to try to figure out something else. I got it free. It had never been used, but I think it's more for like people that want to airbrush, you know?
Yeah.
And so that noise nonstop would just drive me crazy.
Is it in a room where you can hear it? Hey, Stephen Pete.
That's it. Hi, Stephen P. There. Oh wow, and Jeff Kane and Geek Boy and the joy of fishing, or not fishing, the joy of keeping fish, joy of fish keeping.
There you go. You'd get there.
Yeah,
Alishon says daffodils are the so-called N culture. Yep, that's what I've got them as. I have been hearing some jumped. Hold it. Hold, please. I've been hearing some think there is no difference between them. They have been delineated by mating. Well, they're supposed to be prolific. So I'm curious to see if they are going to be prolific enough to uh, make babies in a tank that is probably going to eat most, if not all of them. If Ed would dye 2 black lines down the side of the hid goat, his probably sides of his goat, he would look like Scott Steiner. So
Big
leave
Papa
leave
Pump.
this open.
Oh no, wait, is Scott's was that Big Papa Pump or was that Scott
Yeah,
Steiner? Is that the big brother?
he was huge. He was a enormous human.
Well,
Yeah,
remember the
just
Steiner brothers? One of them, the older one, wore the things over his ears. I think they
well,
were
what
both from Michigan because they used to wear Michigan wrestling. Uh, I forgot what the singlets.
the one was
Then,
enormous. So
yeah, though when his brother got hurt, he became Big Papa Pump, and that was my buddy Puff's laser tag name, Big Papa Pump.
Nancy B in Tennessee,
My
you made it.
laser tag name was Friar Ed, like Friar Tuck, but instead it was Friar Ed.
That's awesome.
That was
Bacardi
a good.
types
That
are
was
very
fun.
aggressive in guarding their young. They will chase away anything that comes near them. Even the big fish, even the fish that are probably looking at them as lunch eventually. That's my biggest fear is I'm gonna end up just with all these fish in there, and then as these frontosa finally start growing, they're just gonna decimate my population. Because everything grows so slow in the lake, in that lake. I mean, other than these latticed cichlids, everything else in there is pretty much the same size as that, but they got a little beefier. The lemons definitely got bigger in that in here, but in a month they're not any bigger over here. Has it been a month? Maybe it's not been a month. When was the Iowa thing? That might
Well,
have
I
been a
think it's
month
been
ago.
at least 3 weeks.
Dirt, you
Is
were
this?
there.
I wish I would have been there. Is this what they look like?
That looks like
Because didn't you say it had the thread fins
I have feather fins.
or feather fins rather?
Yeah, but those are different fish. This is a daffodil. If you punched in daffodil, that's what it is.
Oh, I didn't.
Neolemprologus. Neolemprologus pulcher is the according to the internet. But Alishon, frontos are wimps. That's what I'm hoping that's true. Gravedigger, what's going on? Oh, he said. Oh, he was there too. Iowa's the 6th, so it's coming up on a month, right? 2 days away. Yeah, Quad City. That was a month.
Yeah. Well, today's the
Oh, and
4th. May the
there's
4th be with
Mrs.
you all.
Yes. May the 4th be
Yeah,
with you
man.
always.
Gravedigger is a great name too. I may have to make a Gravedigger action figure because that's awesome. It'd be really
Benjamin
cool if that's
Peters.
Gravedigger's real last name. I'm Greg Gravedigger. Wouldn't that be cool? My dad and I we're watching or we were watching a hockey game last night, and one I don't know if the guy was for the Avalanche or for the Dallas Stars, but one of them was named Peon, and I was like, Dad, I'm sorry if you would have given me that as my last name, I would have changed it. And then he says, "Don't worry, I would have already changed it too." And then we were like, "What would be a cool name?" And I was like, "Badger or Hawk, maybe." But Gravedigger, yeah, awesome name. I'm Ed Gravedigger. I'm dead Ed Gravedigger or undead Ed Gravedigger.
I got the feather fin from Jason, Jeff. I got the lemon tetras off the center table, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I just saw a bag of them, so I bought them because I'm like, oh, that would go towards helping me out with my population in there. Nancy says she bought so many new fish yesterday. She's still looking for places to put them. Did you go to either one of them, or did you end up not going either?
I didn't go to either. I'm gonna have to take my car to the mechanic tomorrow. I've got to have new spark plugs and a cable replaced. And we watched videos on doing it ourselves, but the right side's real easy, but the left side goes way down to the other side, and you've got to take the tire off and
Working on it.
go in through
Working
the
on it.
side. And it's like, that's
Yeah, they make it's so hard to do any of that stuff anymore unless you're a real, do it all the time mechanic. It's since the late 80s they've been trying that crap. When they hide half the spark plugs, underneath the firewall, so you have to basically pull the motor to get to the spark
stupid.
plugs. That's how my dad's Honda Honda Accord was. It was just dumb. Two of them were
That cost
completely impossible to access.
$400 for new spark plugs because they're hard to get to.
Wow.
I mean, spark plugs themselves cost
Hey, 310.
$12 a piece. And then the cable, I went at O'Reilly's, they were selling the cables for 51 or 100. They had two different prices. It was like, well, I'll get the 50, the $51 one. But doggone, man, it just can't get in there. But boy, it looked like two really good swaps, one in Nashville and in Knoxville. I don't know why they decided to go at the same time because you get a lot of people crossing over. So
I know, and they do that here in Chicago once in a while too. It's like they don't think. Like Jason has had to split. Like he'll go to the Quad Cities and take Joanna's sister, and then Joanna will go to the one in Northbrook with one of their kids, usually Eli, I think. And then they kind of. But if you're not willing to do that, you have to choose. And for the people who are looking to go to actually just go to the event, nobody's going to drive to freaking Chicago, and then turn around and go all the way out to Iowa. I mean, you got to have a lot of time on your hands to be wanting to do that.
well, Chicago has 12 clubs. They have a lot of clubs out there in Chicago. But
Yeah, but
still,
most of them don't
I
interest
mean,
you.
yeah, well, they're all different sorts of types. But
Right.
the here though, it just I don't understand. And I wish I knew off the top of my head. I
Hey,
never can
Latoya.
remember what clubs go what weekends. But whichever club stepped on the other club, shame on that club.
Well, and that
'Cause
has to
one
be
of
one of the
them-
last ones too for the season, because Chicago's already done. You know, now we go through the summer without any swaps at all until fall.
Oh, no, well, like you see, we'll have another one here. Chattanooga will probably have one in 2 months, and it'll be gigantic because I mean they're probably twice as big as both of those because they have everybody from those, Atlanta, Birmingham. You know, everybody comes in for ours, and our
Yeah.
club is by far the smallest of all the clubs. It's crazy, but it is fun to buy those fish. I wish I could have seen Nancy and also looked for some rice fish.
You
That would've been
you just couldn't get there because your truck was in such a bad shape, or
Well, I
didn't
don't
trust it?
want to trust it with the check engine light on and stuff. I don't know when it's gonna break. My dad said that I could probably take it and probably be okay. And it's like I just had it towed a week before for the stupid harmonic balance, and so it's like, yeah, I don't want to do that again. And then he's like, well, you could take our car, and it's like, oh, I hate taking their car. And Sean Peck was like, just buy him a Uber card. And it's like, well, I don't think we have Uber here. I don't know.
You
But
probably
I know
don't. I know I don't.
if we
Down there by Spencer, there isn't.
if we have Uber here, my dad would probably never use it. He just put it in a drawer and just let it sit there for 5 years.
Well, it's not something you can put in a drawer. It's on your phone. It's an app.
Oh, well, he would never be able to figure that out either. You think I'm bad? I'm the whiz kid.
So Nancy says she planned on getting 4, but bought 29. Holy crap! But only 5 different kinds. Zenny wants to know if the darter is still hiding.
Oh, my catfish is a Synodontis, and it's like that big. He normally hides behind this tree that I have in there all the time. It's just he swims out during the daylight like once every 3 or 4 months. One of those fish. He has the whole 200-gallon tank to himself. I'm thinking
Holy,
about giving him to the fish store downtown Fish Mania. I think they have a 600-gallon tank for rescues and stuff, and
oh,
ask him if he'd like to have it.
there you go. So Laura got 30 plus platies for $10.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Somebody had babies and didn't know what to do with them, I think.
Rippling Creek just said, whip, Ed.
Doc
And Zen's
Anthony
here, and she
says,
said, hi, Ed.
what have we heard from Skipper? He is at a bingo thing today.
Yep,
So he is
that
not
would have been
around,
fun.
especially with Skipper doing it, because you don't know what he's going to be saying and talking about his fingers and stuff.
He's probably just there as muscle. So if like one of the old people don't pay for their bingo card, he pushes them over and kicks them out. Or if Ned gets too handsy, he beats him up.
I had a 63 Valiant with a straight 6 for running water. Oh, they're talking cars. You got them talking on cars. Hey, Xanadu.
Stu. Oh, he's
I'm
another
falling
body
off.
I'm missing.
Davo. Did I already say hi to Davo? I think you were here earlier, right?
Hi, Dave.
Hey, there's Pep. I got down to him. I'm not so many Ricos behind. I heard from Rico today too. You did too.
Yep.
He's excited about his Bears.
Yeah,
He's
man,
very,
they're gonna be a lot better.
they should be.
But I said that last year, and then they let me down. So who knows?
Yeah, well, the line was crap, and they seem to have fixed that. So, I
Well,
guess we'll see.
they got the Chiefs' best lineman.
Do they?
Yeah, the Chiefs traded him to them because they weren't going to be able to spend that much money on both offensive guards. And we've got the number 1 and the number 2 guards in the league. We just need tackles. Terrible. Well, our guard was playing tackle because our tackles were so bad last year. But he's really good. I want to say his name's Tate.
That sounds right.
Super, yeah,
I've
super
heard that
great
name
guy.
on the radio a couple different times.
He was the captain of our team offensive line. He was super good in New England for years. But he's like 32, so he probably only has
Yeah, he
another
doesn't have
3
long.
years in his
Yeah,
tank.
maybe. But he'll put a finger in the dike if
He
that's
put
all
a
there.
finger in somebody's eye too.
Uh,
He poked the guy in the eye from Baltimore. They're really good tackle, and he felt so bad, or defensive tackle. And it was his first time playing
it was.
offensive tackle, and he accidentally poked him in the eye, and he felt so bad. He kept asking him how he was doing and everything. It's just,
You don't have to worry about asking if anybody from Baltimore is okay.
well,
Football player
I,
wise.
he doesn't want to poke somebody in the eye
Oh, poke him in the
or
eye.
damage
All,
somebody's eye.
all
But
those
he poked him
Ravens.
good because the guy was so big. He went and got him right there.
Sorry. Then he's like, yeah, so Skipper is beating up old people. Is that what Ed is saying? And then Nancy says he's a bouncer for the old people that get too rowdy at bingo.
Yep. Man, I'd like to go to bingo.
You'll have Jeff calling you old. See, bingo happens to those old people. Whip. It's a
Well,
good thing.
I just want to go to
It's a
have
good
fun,
thing we're
and
younger than him.
I just want to go for the nachos.
Hey, buddy, what's going on? Go with the flow, Richard.
Richard. Richard's awesome.
He is awesome.
I'm going to go see a movie tonight.
What are you going to go see tonight?
I'm going to go see The Accountant Part 2.
Attaboy. That's a good one.
And that
Well,
was
I hope it's a good one.
I hope it is too. I loved the first Accountant
Yeah,
with
it
Ben
was good.
Affleck.
That surprised me that I liked it as well as I did because I'm like, I don't know, I never heard anything about it. I never even saw it in the theaters. No advertisement or nothing. But I watched it, and they hooked me pretty quick.
It feels like it was 15 years ago when that came out because I said, when that comes out again, I want a sequel. I'm going to see it. And I'd totally given up on it.
Is
What year
Ben
did
doing
The
it?
Accountant come out? Oh, 2016. So it's only been 9 years.
That's longer than I would have thought.
I
Is
was
is
thinking 15.
is Affleck the accountant again, or did they recast?
Nope, he's still the accountant. But I really think they should have done some earlier or done it sooner.
Yeah, because now he's got to be pushing 50, right? He's got to be,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
right?
Let's find out. How old is Ben Affleck? 52.
Okay.
Ah, the sucker's older than me.
But he's
He's
in
been
really good
Batman,
shape.
so I got nothing on him.
Yeah. He was
And
in
he
really
not
good
only
shape.
is it, he was also Daredevil, and I really liked that movie.
What?
I always thought I loved that movie.
Oh
I
my
hated
God, it was
Daredevil.
horrible.
I don't know why.
It was badly acted. It was just they took the characters and made them goofy. The whole thing was kind of weird. I mean, don't get me wrong. Anytime you
Oh,
get a
it's all right.
chance to look at Jennifer, that's a fine thing to be looking at. But
I
she's not
liked it. But you see, I always hated Daredevil. because he was such a goody two shoes, and he was a lot tougher than he was. Well, it was the version that what's his face made. Yeah, Bootsy. Gosh, what's his name? Kevin Smith. He wrote for Daredevil and made him good, and they had him in the movie and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he's no kill, just beat him up and bring him to justice kind of thing, right?
Yeah, he's like Batman kind of.
Yeah, but Batman will kill you.
Well, Batman's a lot tougher now, but he used to be a real wuss. I think they had to make Batman a little darker. Like Jaws. I was looking at that yesterday. Jaws is now rated PG, but when it first came out, it was rated R.
Really?
So, I think we've really become jaded over the years.
Well, now they have these. It's pretty set in stone stuff now. Like if you drop the F-bomb more than twice, I think it's got to be a PG-13, and you can have like butt crack and side boob, but if you any kind of real nudity, that jacks it up. So I mean, back in the day, there was PG movies that where you'd be like, damn. Hey, Stan the Man, Pit Man.
Hey, Stan.
So how many
Redneck
tanks?
Aquatics would be a fun name to make an action.
How many tanks do you feed with your linear? I mean, I know you said you have 3 different systems going on, but and then we'll get back to Zenny because
I'm gonna guess
all about that too.
There was like 56
on one, or just that was how many tanks you had
on
total?
one, and then the other 2 aren't running. I have one as a backup in case it breaks down because I had one break down on me first, and Corey was real nice and his broke down, but I had turned it off for a while and then it turned it back on. It wouldn't run anymore. And he sent me a new one. But I'd already bought one from somebody else. Oh, no, I remember. It was Corey couldn't get anything in because it was during the COVID. He couldn't get any extras in. And I talked to him and he said that I am 2 of his 10,000 that he sold that broke. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he's like, no, I'm the one that should be sorry. And it's like, no, it's all right. And then he sent me a new one. So, and he sent me my money back. So, I mean, just too nice.
Wow.
Because I bought it. It was like $200 and that was like sent to me.
Hey,
and
David.
Then he sent me one like a year later when they were able to get in. And then I bought one off of Amazon that's running right now. And it's louder than Corey's, but I don't want to unhook it. I'd rather just wait till it burns out. But it's been running for like 6 years straight.
Nice.
5 years straight.
So Zenny says, I've been desperately waiting for Ready Player 2 to come out. It was supposed to be
Ready
this
Player,
year. And what?
Is that the one where
they're in a virtual
Ryan Reynolds
reality?
is like, yeah, he's a Ryan Reynolds is in a world.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds is in that. It was a Ready
Video
Player
game
One.
world?
That's where the game guy, the game master, has made a game that everybody's playing, and there's so many people playing it that it's just this giant world, and it's basically
Is
a
it the
race.
one where
they're looking for clues and stuff to get to the next level, and every game under the sun that you can remember back in the day and movie is all in that movie. Darth Vader and King Kong.
was
and
that the one that had like people lived in storage containers stacked on top of each other
Yep.
into the sky?
Yep.
Okay.
It was,
Yeah,
it
that
was
was
a
a
good
good
movie. I
movie.
liked it. Yeah. And then they kind of were they spent most of the movie in the game, but then they come back out, in the real world, and he's trying to deal with his parents or his mom and stepdad or whatever that guy was, and the guy that's trying to chase him down because he's winning the game, and whoever wins it gets all the secrets or something, right? Wasn't that the thing? Hey, Cheryl. Um, and he's got like he's hired on like this team of people, just huge amount of, just all sitting in a big pile of people there playing the game, trying to win. And as they get knocked out, they have to restart. It's pretty cool.
Now, is the guy from Serenity Nathan Finnegan?
Nathan Fillion, but you're close. Yes.
Fillion.
Yeah.
Did you see that what he is doing in the next big movie or in a movie this summer?
I don't know. He's getting kind of old, so I don't know how much more he's going to
He
be able to
looks
do.
hilarious. He's playing the Green Lantern in a Superman movie. But he's playing the really dorky Green Lantern, the one with bangs. He looks I'll try to find it for you.
All right. I got to get back to where I was here. People have said stuff and things. There we are. And neither one of us is talking about butt crack and side boob. Doc Ant says, butt crack and side boob was my nickname in high school. Bootsy says, I saw way too much butt crack today. My nephew is going to make an excellent plumber someday. Hey, Elfish. And no, I don't know what that was too. Nancy, as long as it's not smell-o-vision, we're good. Get up there and explain it, Zenny. If you're talking, you have gone radio silent. I hear nothing.
Oh,
There you go.
I must have lifted up my thing. I'm trying to get my Facebook to open. Can I get anything to open? What in the heck is going on with my computer?
I don't know, but because you clearly have internet.
Yeah, I can't open any of the things on the bottom.
Jody P, I didn't even see you sneak in, girl.
Let's see. I had a ESPN update on the backside of this. No. Well,
I rewatched it with my 15-year-old, and it really still holds up with all the virtual reality and social media references, even talking about Twitch streamers. It's crazy it's not outdated at this point. Right, because I mean, like Facebook and Instagram have kind of gone the way of the dodo.
well, I guess I'm just going to have to hold it up to the computer, guys, because I can't pull up anything on my computer.
Yeah.
Look at how amazing he looks.
Yeah, that's amazing. I hope that's a wig.
Oh, I'm sure. He is so funny.
I think
But
he's
he's
still doing the rookie on that TV show where he plays a rookie
I'm
cop.
actually I've
Years old.
been binging that. The last few days, I've been catching up this season.
I'm on season 2 still.
Oh gosh, I'm
Damn it,
on
Zen's
this
back in.
season 7. His wife on the show has had major plastic surgery and doesn't look anything like herself. I was like, did
Zen's.
they get a new actress? And I looked it up, and they're saying no, she just had plastic surgery.
I wonder why. Maybe she's getting old. Felt she needed to do it to
Well, she
extend her
shouldn't
career or
have.
something. No, that's
I don't know
usually
why
the
they
case.
do it. I don't know why actors do this plastic
They
surgery.
they want to extend their career, but man, it almost never works out. I mean,
Backfires.
you always come out of there looking like a freak show.
Well, there's a few that it's worked really good for. Like Sandra Bullock's had it done, and she'd still look super young.
She has. What did she get worked on?
She's had everything tightened up.
That's usually when they run into trouble because then they look like Skeletor.
Yeah. Well, I think this girl put too much Botox in her face. I think she has Botox. It's made her just fill in her cracks or her wrinkles, and it's made her so she looks puffy.
Uh, Speaking of lilies, I'm going to be in need of some pond plants soon. Yeah, and you're too damn far away to come down to the swaps.
See, I mean, she still looks good.
Yep. Yep. But she's not that old. I mean, she's in her 50s, right?
And I mean,
Early
you could
mid
kind
50s.
maybe like her top lip is a little stretched. That's it.
Quirky, what's going on, bud?
You there. But yep, gosh. There's just I don't know, like and then that poor guy, I really like him. And I just saw a movie of his this week and it was really good. Um Mickey Rourke. He was really good, and then he had all that plastic surgery. And I know that his nose got all messed up when he tried to be a boxer, but that's he's had way more plastic surgery than a broken nose worth.
Oh, for sure.
But I saw him in the movie The Wrestler, and I finally saw that movie, and man, it's a really sad movie.
It is, but it's very good. It's well done.
It is very good. And
That's
I'd wanted to
exactly
see it
right,
for years.
Zenny. You got to find balance. You can't be doing too much. Everybody gets old. I find that out every day. I wake up and look into the mirror. Jeff, if you had said something before yesterday, I could have mailed you a lily. Just finished mowing and weed eaten and covered in grass. I shall return squeaky clean. The ice just came off the pond stands. Oh,
Oh,
you still had ice up there? Shut up. No, you didn't.
we have scheduled 10 days of straight rain.
We had a lot of rain just this last week. I'm glad it's over. My basement still has water in the drain because
We're
it
2 days into 10
doesn't work.
days. A
Don't
lot of it's
forget to
just
hit
going
the
to be
left.
small rain.
Right.
Oh
I
my
was
gosh, you're right. I'm going to be like number 18.
18. There's 50 of it. There's 50 of it. Oh my goodness. 48. I lost two just in that second.
Maybe they were trying to figure out how to give you a like and they left. They accidentally left the whole thing. Way to go, Big Steve.
Hey, Toonie.
You get tunes. But now once you click it, I don't know if it'll if I can see it go up any. It's like it locks in.
Zenny, she changed. I mean, she was almost unrecognizable as that same person.
Then did?
No, Jennifer Grey. Do you remember Jennifer Grey when she was in?
Oh,
And she
yeah.
was just a little cutie, and
Baby.
then she got her nose done, and I think it was just her nose, but whatever she
Just
did
yeah. Well, she
completely
had a
changed
like
your face.
a little bulge, but I guess the rest of her face was very average, and her little weird nose made her different. And then she knocked that out. Yeah, that was a terrible mistake.
Yeah, because I don't know how many. I mean, I'm sure she kept working, but she
She
wasn't
also had
in
the braces
anything else.
removed. I think she had braces in Dirty Dancing.
And Ferris Bueller's Day Off, she was the lead sister. You know,
Probably had braces in that too.
I'm pretty sure she did in that one. We still have snowbanks. What?
Oh my gosh.
That's
We've
he's
had to,
not that
we've
much
had to have
further
the
north than me.
AC on. We've been in the high 80s already this year.
We've
But
hit
with
the
all this
80s.
we're in the 70s, I think. It's kind of chilly out there right now, tell you the truth. It's 56 right now. I had to wear my hoodie earlier
Yeah,
when I went out, and I'll put it back on when I leave again.
it was a little chilly, but I had when I mowed, I was in my shorts, but I also had a flannel shirt pulled over my t-shirt just to kind of keep the chill off. Nobody keeps baby in a corner. You know that's right, Dennis.
Well,
How are you doing, Dennis?
but as soon as baby had her nose operation, nobody cared anymore, and she could sit in all the corners collecting dust.
That's unbelievable. You know, I know he's north more than a little, but it can't be more than how far north are you from the Illinois border, Jeff? Are you 4 hours? Probably
Directions
four.
to Jeff Kane's house.
If that works.
It didn't, but he's got a pretty cool looking house.
Woo.
Pretty fancy, Jeff. Well, this is WWE's wrestler Kane's house. Whoops. So that's in Knoxville somewhere. Because he's the mayor of Knoxville. He's going to
It's
be
six.
in Chattanooga signing autographs. And I thought about if I would actually go, I would try to get a picture of him as a mayor and have him sign that and say, I never watched you wrestle. But then I'm like, I don't want to pay to get somebody's autograph.
No, so I was on the low end of being right. He said 4 to 5 hours north of Illinois.
Oh,
It's
wow.
60. It's 62 here. Are you telling me it's warmer in Illinois than it is in Chattanooga?
50, 56.
Wow,
Well, it's this weather. It's all cold
62.
but it's 8:10, so we're an hour behind, so it's colder that way too.
Oh yeah, that's true. Your sun has definitely settled a little bit. And then Zenny has to go and rub some salt in the wounds. 80, 85 here. That's perfect.
I went
I never
4 hours
watched you
north of
wrestle, but I'm a
Chicago.
big fan of your politics. Mary
I,
Oliver.
what? And I'm like, I'm not going to pay any politician for an autograph. They should give it to me for free. I, my grandma, she gave me. She used to get every president she would write to and get an 8x10 black and white. And she gave me like Nixon, Kennedy, Ford, and Carter's 8x10s all autographed. It was kind of neat. And they
Yeah.
may have said to Virginia. I don't know. I have no idea where they're at now.
Well, that's kind of rude if somebody gives you something like that and you lose it.
I think I was like 12.
Oh, okay. So
I
it was a
didn't
few.
even know
It's
who
been
any of them but
a few
Carter
years.
was. And Carter was the guy that always interrupted the Muppets to do his speeches. That's all I remembered about Carter was him interrupting the Muppets.
He just died. Like just. He was like
Don't
100
interrupt my
years old.
Muppets. It was like the only thing good on Sunday nights, so I'd wait for it.
It's
I
probably
think it was
still the
Sunday
only thing good.
evenings. My mom and dad, boy, they are religiously watching what's this? American Idol. They've been watching it all the seasons. It's been on for like ever.
I don't know which one we watch. Maybe The Voice? We don't watch it like regularly, but like every now and again, when we go see my dad, he'll just have something on, and that's usually what it is. You're only
It's
like
too
half
bad.
paying attention.
Oh, actually, Dad turned on the Blues game as soon as we got into the house because we were trying to get home in time to watch the Blues game at 7, and the Blues were winning 2-0.
Is that good?
Oh my gosh! And that's probably Jeff King's favorite team is Winnipeg.
He says
I'm sorry, Jeff.
Tomahawk, Wisconsin is where he lives. And
Oh,
my work area is from Tomahawk to Saxon Harbor on Lake Superior.
Tomahawk would be an awesome last name too. I'm looking at how he wrote Ed Tomahawk.
Ed Tomahawk. Or Tomahawk Ed. All I
That's a
remember
great
about
town
Carter's
name.
presidency was big teeth,
Yeah.
interrupting
Well,
whatever I was watching in the kindergarten. Yep, that's what
yep.
Ed's talking about.
He loved to go on during kid hours for some reason. But I actually don't live in Chattanooga. I live in a little town right outside of Chattanooga called Dayton. But I didn't want to be Dayton Ed. Nobody'd know what my show was about, and then they'd all think I was in Ohio.
Or it was a play
People,
on words and you were looking for a date.
or they'd think it's like a
Dayton
setup
Ed.
place.
I see
I actually made my name when I lived in Hickson, so then I would have been Hickson Ed. But that's like a suburb of Chattanooga. I've taken Whoop the Hickson.
Yep.
We ate at the Mexican disco there.
Yeah, right. That was the strangest place. Food was good, but
It was good, but it really didn't look. It was like a disco place instead of a.
yeah, it was weird. It was a weird setup they had going on there.
And of course, I embarrassed Whip.
Uh, huh?
I asked that gal the
Oh,
Spanish words, and I shouldn't have. I guess.
no, it's fine. Zenny says you could have stuck with the current theme and gone with Eddie C from Tennessee or in Tennessee.
But then everybody would always think I'd stand behind Nancy B in Tennessee.
Mary says we finally hit in the 60s and 70s. Now you're up. Where are you at, Nancy? Not Nancy. Mary. Sorry, we were talking about Nancy, and Nancy's on the brain. April showers in May, all this week, and by week's end, the night's going to be back in the 40s. Wow,
Hi,
that
Foxy.
jumped fast. Foxy! I was able to catch both her shows this week. Or last week, I guess, technically.
I didn't catch her show at all. I was at Thunderbolts. Guys, I got the AMC pass again because they're finally making movies that I enjoy. Last 2 years have been really bad, and I think it's because COVID slowed the movie production down, and everything was just like not very good. But there's so many good movies. I had to get it, and it's like $19 a month, and I can see 3 movies a week. So taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
I just wish the movie theater was closer. Either one of them's almost a 45 to hour drive.
Ouch. That's no good.
Yeah. Well, they say they're only 20 minutes away, but it's all the curvy roads. You know, it's one's in Cleveland, which is like south,
Hey, Rack.
and the other one's in Hickson. And then there's like another 10 in Chattanooga, but they're probably hours away because of all the curves. It's really weird. 20 miles is nothing in Missouri or Iowa or even Illinois, you know, but 20 miles here just takes forever.
Yeah, right. I've learned that over the
Now,
last 5 years or so.
Knoxville's almost a straight shot for me though, because the mountain, there's no mountains between me and Knoxville, because it's
Yeah,
like
you're
I just take that river straight up.
yeah,
And
you're hanging on the east side.
mhm. So I'm an hour and 15 minutes from downtown Knoxville, and I'm an hour from downtown Chattanooga, but Chattanooga is like 30 miles, and they're, I don't know, 55. It's crazy.
Nancy says it takes a long time to get anywhere around Chattanooga.
But you know what? I wouldn't trade living in Chattanooga for anywhere because I have really enjoyed it. And I know a lot of you have heard this, but I, like in second grade, I hated Chattanooga. I thought it was a country. I was in a spelling bee in second grade, and the spelling word for me was Chattanooga. And I'm like, I was eliminated so fast, it wasn't even fair. But other kids were like getting Beagle or, Shark or, it was stupid. And I got Chattanooga, and I thought it was some country in the Middle East.
But
Well, I didn't even know where the Middle East
here's
was.
the
It was just
important
on the other side
question.
of the ocean.
Here's the important question, Ed. Can you spell it now?
Pretty sure I can. But I'm not going to. Just in case I screw it
Yeah,
up.
'cause I don't want to. I don't want to risk it.
CHAT net chatta T N G O. Did I say 2 T's? TT
Yes.
C A. Okay. Hopefully I got it right. Let's see where.
Chatta
Oh,
Nougat.
did I say 2 O's or 1 O?
I only heard you say one.
Dang it. I should have said 2 because when I sign my name for people, I make Ed, and then I make from my back of my D, I make a great big C, and then I go NOOGA. So it's Chattanooga. So I don't have to do the first. But it's harder
My
also to
regular
spell
signature
things without
is
writing it on a piece of paper.
my regular signature is the first letter, and then it's not even
It is.
NGO. Did you switch from Chattanooga to bingo?
It's
Nancy's giving
really
you hell.
it's
It's
really hard to spell without writing it down.
yeah, or at least yeah, you got without being able to see it. So those little kids that can do it, man, that's saying
Oh my gosh! And my name is even on the screen. Nuga's right there.
yeah.
But
You just had
I
to get the
checked that
chatter.
my spelling. Whoops.
Mary's in
I
New
wish it was
England,
somewhere closer.
so the weather saying goes, I'm too slow with the reading. But my son-in-law was so nice, dig me a ditch. Think he was digging a hole to China. I need backfill about half of it for my first outdoor pond. Ah, we're doing a little pond action, are we? She's a horrible speller. Boy, am I. There's times when even spell check is like, dude, I don't know.
Well, that was the last spelling bee I was ever into. I was like, screw this stuff.
I'm not going to stand up here and get humiliated.
Yeah.
Now Zenny's giving you a hard time. She says Chattango.
Is that
He
what I
spelled
said?
he spelled Chattanooga.
I would be able to write it down. I know I could spell it by writing it.
Chattango.
Oh my gosh. The nougat
Corky's
part's
on
the
it.
easy part.
Did you see that Rack came in?
Oh, hi, Rack. We're going to have Rack as a special guest in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah?
We're going to be doing a craft with him, but I'm not going to say anything else.
I can relate with. Then I delete what I was trying to say. Yeah, I'm telling you. Right? I mean, if the Google machine is so confused that it doesn't know what I'm trying to spell, there's no way, there's no point in continuing with that point, that direction of answering my whatever question it was I was trying to answer or ask, for that matter. Mountain Greenery, what's up?
Oh, yeah. I like how Mountain put like a little owly thing up there. Oh, maybe that's a moon behind
I
the
don't know what
fish.
that is. It's a
Full
fish
moon.
and then a little purple guy with giving you the side eye.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yep, that's what I usually do, Nancy. I try to think of something that works in its place. It's
For
okay. I
what?
can't even speak in public, much less attempt spelling.
I hate it when my internet goes down and I can't do voice to chat and I have to type everything out.
Yeah, but your phone, I mean, it's probably better than most because you use it so much. But there's times when you do that, you know, talk to
Oh,
text, and I'm like, what the hell was that?
if I don't proofread it, I normally have to delete something all the time. But if I'm like driving or in the middle of something and I just say it like, "Hey Whip, what's shaking?" and I put it down, it'll say, "Hey Whip, buy me a hot dog," or
Yeah,
something
right,
crazy. It,
right.
it doesn't make any sense. It,
He's like,
Whip is awesome.
Ed's speak to text is amazing. So many things make me giggle.
It's terrible.
There's times when I've had a conversation with people on the text, and then I like go back and read it like a day later or whatever, just because I couldn't remember what was said, and I'm just verifying something, and I'm looking at what I typed, and I'm like, good lord! Like there's times that when I'm typing, instead of the what would it be? Instead of the space bar, so my right thumb doesn't drop down far enough, and it catches the B instead of the space bar a lot. And I'll have like 5 words linked together because instead of a space, it's got a B in there. And that's when spell checker's like, yeah, dude, you're on your own on this one. And I don't see it because I don't proofread.
I get Z all the time in there. and B, and I and U gets mixed up, and E and R gets mixed up. It's just so small.
Hey, Jody's done. She got done getting cleaned up from her mowing operation.
Nice. Oinky is amazing at interpreting what I'm saying, except when we're in a conversation and then I respond to something that was said 30 minutes ago and she says, I have no idea what you're talking. It's like, you asked me if I like Thai food or not. You know, and like we're talking about something else. Oh, it's all right, Nico. He knocked over my paintbrush cup. Boy, Nico was a sick cat on Friday, maybe. No, it was Thursday after the show, I think. Um, Dad let him outside while I was at the movies, and because he knows that he can force my dad into things that he can't get away with me. And he ate something out there, and he had diarrhea so bad. Oh, it was gross.
Which
Nothing's
one was
better than
this?
cleaning cat diarrhea off your bed.
This was Nico or was it Baby Cat again?
This guy, he ate something that he wasn't supposed to eat out there.
Mary says, do what I do, Ed. I abbreviate words because YouTube limits their text comments. And I confused Whip. He thought I was from the other side of the world. I did the first time after trying to read what she wrote, everything was abbreviated. And I'm like, yeah.
You know, LOL. My
Yeah.
mom used to think that meant lots of love. So she always put at the end of every one of her messages to our family, LOL.
I asked
That's like,
early on. Hey, Mike
Grandma's
B, holy
funeral is
cow.
going to be on this Saturday, LOL. It's so terrible.
Yeah, I had back in the I had just gotten a computer, which I was way behind with doing anyway, because I didn't think I needed one. But everybody had one, and then my dad got me one. It was just a crappy one, so I got used to having something. So then when we bought a good one at the time, pardon me, and started doing that AIM. You know how AIM had some kind of instant message kind of thing going on. It was like one of the original instant, kind of like your Facebook
I
DM,
don't know
but
what AIM is.
it's AOL. It had something to do with AOL's. But
I
anyway,
don't know if I used AOL.
the dial-up.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I used Earthlink. Do you remember
Oh,
Earthlink?
Yahoo Chat. That's what it was. It was Yahoo Chat. And anyway, the one of the people I was talking to, she LOL'd everything. I mean, it was like, the cat just got out. LOL. Now he's out there chasing him around. LOL. It just never. And I'm like, what is? I finally had to ask. I'm like, what is LOL? And when she told me, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But I had
Laughing
no
out
idea
loud.
what it. Yeah,
But it's still kind of weird. She laughed out loud about everything.
like
I guess she was
everything, and
really
I'm like,
happy.
yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Ding. Nick at Hardwater Propagation. Back when the internet came delivered on discs in the mail, 100 free hours. Yep. That was a long time ago, huh? I remember the first computer I had that had um, where you hit the button and the tray comes out and you can load your disc of whatever you were gonna play or watch or whatever. And to turn the computer on, it was like it took it like a minute and a half, maybe a minute and a half. and you're like, oh my God, this is so fast, you know. Because back when you
Well,
had AOL or whatever you were using at the time, you'd try to download a picture and it would just kind of slowly. It's like watching the Peas on their Friday night show, trying to guess whatever the logo is. You know, it's like,
yeah.
is that an eye? I can't tell if that's an eye.
Well, back in the day when we first got internet, we started playing this game called EverQuest. And my buddy Puff and Joe, we all lived within like a few blocks of each other in Columbia, Illinois, when I bought my house, because I bought my house and then Puff bought his on the other side of Main Street, and Joe moved and was only like 2 blocks the other way. And we all bought walkie-talkies and would talk on walkie-talkies to each other the whole time when we were playing. It was great.
Yeah.
And we took the walkie-talkies to Disneyland, and we got told to take them back because it was interfering with Disneyland stuff.
Oh.
They're walkie-talkies. It was like, we can change channels, and they're like, no, we don't allow those.
I remember having to enter several lines of code in DOS-based chat rooms to change the color of the letters for a 4-word sentence. Yep.
Now,
that's when I thought I was going to be a computer genius, because we'd go in and change, like we'd get these generic football games, and you go in and like recode it to, like, I was a Steelers fan, so I mean, this will tell you how old it is. I'm using Walter Abercrombie as my running back, and just changing whatever the generic name they had in there as a running back, and I'm like, this is
I think
easy.
you're so old school. I would call that DOS.
It probably was DOS, yeah.
Well, I had the Wayne Gretzky hockey, and we did that. And we changed every player in the league to players that we played in our conference. And we would play like our high school versus all the other high schools.
Oh, that's smart.
So cool. And we try to find players that had like the same stat lines. Like, I was an offensive defenseman, so I would find one of those and we'd put them on, we'd just move them around to the teams. And there was only like 10 teams in our conference, so eliminated about 20 teams. It was so much fun. I miss that game so much. I wish you could still do that.
Well, I bet you could find it somewhere.
It was on floppy disk. Wasn't
Remember
even
that when floppy disks were actually floppy? The big square. Yeah.
It was super cool. Good times, man.
Yep. All right. Well, people are dropping off. We're boring them, so I think we're gonna call it. If anybody wants to go up for a little bit, I think actually oh, that's probably why, because MNC just went hot about 5 minutes ago.
You know what? My clock on my thing went froze also. You know how I couldn't get on anything? It's 8:35. I got to run to get to the movies.
Okay.
So thank you for letting me come up and hang out.
Yeah, thanks for coming
everybody.
Up. Bye. Have a great day, everybody. Hey. Welcome in. I'm with